So once again I have been blessed with a very nice present. This is what's called a joiner plane. It measures 25 inches long and it's made by a Dutch company called Nooitgedagt. So Nooitgedagt started out as a company making ice skates, and later on they started making tools and workbenches. I have acquired a lot of Nooitgedagt tools, so this is a very nice addition to my collection. For those of you who don't know, a joiner plane is a plane that is used for straightening wood. This joiner plane is relatively short to dress, as they start from 22 inches. So this one is 25 inches, so this is a relatively short one. So let's take this apart and see if we can get this into working condition again. Right, so let's see if we can get this wedge and this iron out. Okay, it wasn't really hard. Okay, let's inspect this for a moment. The sticker obviously needs to be taken off. All wood parts definitely need to be scraped, sanded, re-oiled. So let's take a look at this iron and chip breaker. Carefully. The edge seems to be in a pretty good condition. It's only a little bit dull, so we don't need to reprofile it like other planes that I've done. So it only needs a little cleaning up and sharpening. So that's very positive, really like that. As far as the body goes, it's actually in a pretty good state, as far as I can see. We only need to scrape it, sand it and oil it again. So let's get to it. So I want to start out by cleaning all the metal parts. And if you have followed my channel for a while, you might have noticed that I really like using a wire wheel on a drill press, electric drill, bench grinder. I really have used them all, but since I've done it so many times and I don't want to make the same videos over and over again, I'm going to try something different today, something that I haven't used a lot. I have been experimenting with it. This is some sort of very high concentration vinegar. So I'm going to pour it into this bin, if I manage to open it. Right, there we go. So we're going to pour this in very carefully, and the acids in the vinegar will theoretically solve all the rust, at least the most of it. And after a while we can just clean it up using a Scotch Brite pad. So we're going to let it soak for a while, and we'll see how it turns out. So let's take the body apart. One of my favorite tools has become this Stanley rattling screwdriver. A heritage tool, belonged to my grandfather, and I just really like the ease of using this thing. It's way easier to use than a normal screwdriver. I really like it. So the sole of the plane is in a pretty good condition. It only has some dirt on it here and there, so I'm just going to rub it down with some turpentine. So the iron and the chip breaker cleaned up pretty nicely. So now we can start putting a really sharp edge on this iron. And the best way to do that is with Japanese water stones. This is the best sharpening method I've ever used. These sharpening stones are pretty expensive, but they are a very good investment. I advise that you get them in 300 grit, 800 grit and 1000 grit. These two are for sharpening, this one's for reprofiling. And then we have one 6000 grit stone, which is for polishing and adding that last bit of sharpness. So these stones have to be made flat once in a while. As you can see, I sharpened my gouges on this particular one, and I wonder if this shows on camera, but you can definitely see a pretty big dip in there. So you can flatten these stones in a number of ways. You can use wet and dry sandpaper on a pane of glass. But I recently got this silica carbide flattening stone, which works pretty well. You need to put it in water for a while, and after that you can flatten your stones pretty well. So once the stones have stopped bubbling, you can take them out and start using them. I still need to flatten mine, so I'm going to do that really quickly. So once you flatten your stones, you can just pour a little water on them. You need to do this regularly to keep the stone lubricated. You need to find your angle and start sharpening very carefully. Now I dare bet this is shaving sharp. And it is. Look at that. Finished. So after a few hours of work, this very nice joiner plane looks probably as good as new. It looks very nice. And as I showed before, the edge of course razor sharp. I added my maker's mark for extra charm. Looks very nice. Everything is sanded and polished using a Scotch-Brite pad, and oiled of course using boiled linseed oil. Just looks very nice. I can't wait to test it out, so let's see how it works. Works very well, and I still really need to learn how to use it because it's a pretty heavy plane and I'm not very strong. But wood shavings always tell a lot, and these shavings tell me that this edge is very sharp and that it's really well done, if I can say so myself, of course. So I'm going to practice this week, and who knows, maybe at the end of this week I will know how to properly use this plane. I have some pretty neat woodworking projects coming up, and I really plan on using this plane. So stay tuned. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I'd really encourage you to stick around by clicking the subscribe button down below. If you enjoyed watching this video, I'd really appreciate it if you would hit the thumbs up button. It really makes a difference and it really helps. Please know that I am not a professional, I'm only a learner. So if you have anything to say, whether it be tips, critique, if you know how to use a joiner plane properly, or maybe you could leave a comment down below. That's it. Thank you for watching, and till next video.